from the How You Gonna Act studios of Arizona. The MMA-Holes are live, bringing back the Justice League. Let's go, champs! Let's go! Welcome to the stream. My name is Chris, Mystic Moss, King of the Dragons. I'll be your host for the evening as we have a spectacular show prepared for you. Your job is to hit the like button. My job is to give you the content. We have a spectacular show here as we're going to talk about the latest in UFC news. You got UFC 289 Fight Week in Canada. It's going down, and the card's all right. We'll talk about some controversial judging. We'll talk about a little bit of everything tonight. A little bit of everything. And we have two friends that are coming on the show as well. So stand by, friends. It's about to go down. Before we jump into the spectacularness of the MMA-Holes, I got to give a shameless plug to CBDX.com. Promo code MMA-HOLES for 20% off the finest of THC products. Check out CBDX.com. Use promo code MMA-HOLES. MyBookie.ag is where we place our bets. MyBookie.ag, promo code MMA-HOLES for 100% match on your first deposit. And Headrush. Shout out to Headrush over there, 20% off. The promo code is MMA-HOLES. MMA-HOLES. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Too much coffee. MMA-HOLES. Check out the links in the description down below for premium clothing, and they support us. We support them. Yes. Check out ESPN Plus if you'd like to watch the fights this weekend. If you're going to order the pay-per-view, use our link because we get like a whole $15, and I want $15. I want $15 of your money. Okay, pay-per-views. $15 over here. Thank you for doing that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go over to our new guest room over here as I have a spectacular, I'm like saying spectacular a lot tonight. I don't even know why, but we have some guests that are going to pop up over here. We've seen them before on the show, and they're nice enough to come back on the stream. Two gentlemen that are killing it on the social media game, on the YouTube game, two fiery personalities. Let me introduce you to KenanK and Jesse on Fire.
Yo.
Tremendous introduction, Moss. Tremendous, man.
Thank you.
That's some serious radio DJ skills right there.
Oh yeah. A lot of coffee, a lot of stumbling, but it's live. It's live broadcasting. What are you going to do, right?
Yes, sir.
Good man.
All right. Oh, let's see. Connor's in the building. All right. So, guys, right up. Connor's up in the business. By the way, KenanK, what time is it for you right now?
It's 4 a.m.
Let's have a round of applause for KenanK. I mean, 4 a.m.
Wow.
I'm used to it, man. I'm a night owl anyway. So.
I mean, what the... Yeah, 4 a.m. That is absolutely crazy, man. And I appreciate you.
I got class in about 4 hours, too, so I'm doing it for you, Moss.
Thank you.
When do you sleep?
That's the question, man. A man like me doesn't. He just doesn't.
What are you taking class for?
Videography and digital marketing.
Very nice. So that's actually pretty cool. So YouTube is not the end game. Is it that you got a lot of
Nah, it's never been for me. Like for me, YouTube has always been like, I've always done YouTube while I was like working or like I was in school. So for me, I've never really done YouTube full time. It's always been like after hours.
So you're not going to make a video crying how YouTube's not giving you enough money and you have to wash dishes?
Maybe if Keon and Mexican didn't do it, I would have tried my luck. But I think right now that's maybe something that's been ran through already. So no.
and Jesse, Jesse, you're on fire over there. Your channel's killing it. You're all over the place doing big things. I see you running around cage side and all that stuff at the events. What's new in the Jesse on Fire universe?
Just hanging out, dude. I got a bunch of stuff I'm working on, none of which I can really talk about yet, but soon. And I'm just doing videos, and I always have all kinds of stuff going on. But right now, I'm just reviewing like all of the fight cards coming up, and my goodness, they are stacked for International Fight Week. Good God, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's not International Fight Week. That's Salt Lake City. Wow. Salt Lake City is stacked, dude.
Oh, you talking about the BMF card?
Yeah.
There you go. Are you going to be there for that?
I still haven't decided, dude. Like because I'm doing a huge event for the for Diaz and Jake Paul, I got a huge group going, and so it's the weekend before. So I don't know if tickets are really expensive to Salt Lake City too. So I don't know.
Yeah, my cousin just moved over there. It's a beautiful place, and he's like, "You got to get over. You got to get over." And I'm like, "Damn, man, I'm trying to figure out a way to get over there." But then I'm having another baby, so I don't know if that's good, to leave my wife with a newborn. But maybe, who knows? Maybe. What do you think about this BMF card? I mean, let's talk about this. The main event over here. I have been very hard on the UFC for putting together a BMF fight between Poirier and what's it called? Justin Gaethje, the return, the rematch, whatever you want to call it. But like, I understand the business side of things. They want to sell pay-per-views and all that stuff. But is it a little cheesy now, the BMF? Are you down with that?
So I heard a rumor that makes perfect sense before they announced the BMF belt that contractually with ESPN, it's like unless ESPN gives some kind of exemption, they have to put a title fight on every pay-per-view. And the exemptions have only gone to Conor, obviously. And so, they did the BMF belt for Masvidal and Diaz, and I'm guessing that's why they're doing it this time is it's like to fulfill some contractual obligation to ESPN. But at the same time, I mean, I don't know, it makes it a little bit more sticky than just making them headline with no belt on the line, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's like a marketing vehicle. Honestly, the title is a marketing vehicle, but I don't really care. I'm excited to watch them fight. The first fight's incredible.
Yeah. So that's interesting. I didn't know that. Actually, it makes sense that, with ESPN, they got to put those title things out there. So this would be considered a title fight. I guess that's the loophole, right? I
guess that's what the video said. Markel sent me this video that this guy did about Francis' situation. It was an hour and a half long. And it was the most intricate and detailed breakdown of every single thing that happened with the UFC and Francis. And in the part where they did the Derek Lewis and oh God, what's his name? John Jones just strangled him. Cyril Gane.
Yeah.
Like when they did that fight for an interim belt, like they didn't communicate well with Francis, and Francis thought that they were trying to like usurp him by doing an interim belt. And then this guy was saying he's almost positive that the only reason they did that had nothing to do with Francis. It just had to do with the fact that they had a show and they had to put a belt on the line. So they did like an interim belt.
Oh,
and then,
wow.
So then when they did the BMF, I'm like, that's got to be what it is.
That makes sense. Maybe I'm crazy and maybe it's not a good business move, but I'd rather the UFC be more transparent and say, hey, listen, it's a little silly, but we are we're supposed to have a title fight. We couldn't put one together over here. This is a great fight, and these guys deserve something here, so we're going to throw the BMF belt on the line. And I wish they would say it like that, and I would jump aboard. But Dana White with the white gloves the first time around and selling this nonsense, I'm like, come on, man, what are we doing here? Was this WWE?
I agree. Just in terms of like, just tell everybody what's going on. Like I don't know. You and I are probably a little bit more like educated than, just like on the business side, like thinking through like, oh, okay, they like actually have to do this. So I don't know. For us, I totally agree. Like, just tell me what's going on.
Yeah, it's got to be something else. I guess it's something I'm missing here. Kenan, what do you think about the BMF belt?
Is that like title thing for every pay-per-view, something that was just for this year?
This was speculation in a video that was, rubber stamped by people that really know what's going on.
Because they say like the Covington versus Masvidal fight wasn't a title fight, and that was headliner.
That's true. Yeah, but they said that ESPN can give exemptions if they want.
Right,
that's that's what they're saying. It's like they have to unless they give an exemption or whatever. I don't know. I mean, it could just be a rumor.
They should run with that because it kind of makes sense. So you do like the BMF belt?
Yeah. I mean, it's cool to have it come back. Obviously, just stuck with Masvidal, and he's been losing all the time. So maybe the winner from this fight can keep on carrying it with them because, having a pop up randomly feels weird. So maybe people can win it.
They are both savages, man.
Yeah,
both those guys.
I mean, any MMA fan knows. You know what's funny? I have this weird feeling, and I'm probably off on this, but I have a weird feeling that this fight is not going to be as intense as everyone thinks it's going to be because of Gaethje's new style of fighting. Like the way he's a lot smarter now. He's not as reckless. He's not the car crash he was before. That fight against Fiziev goes to show you. Like he's kind of more calculated. He doesn't go fucking head first. And a guy like Poirier, I feel like this is going to be more of a technical fight.
It could
Yeah,
be.
for
I
sure.
think with Fiziev, Fiziev's so fast and so technical in the early rounds that, like, if Gaethje would have gone in their car crash, he'd have gotten fucked up. He fought that fight perfect, where it was like, let him get it out, let him slow down just a little bit, and then I'll start battering him in the later rounds. That was an incredible performance because Fiziev is so nasty.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I bet on Gaethje in that fight. I was like, I don't know, man. I felt like people were sleeping on him. I'm like, I understand Fiziev is a fancy-looking Viking fella. He's handsome and everything like that, but I'm going with the retard. Justin Gaethje looked great.
Yeah. Yeah. In the early rounds, Fiziev really did just look like a more technical and faster version of Gaethje. And then it was just like that Gaethje toughness was just too much because, like, he slowed down just a little bit. And then now it's like that tiny bit of speed. As soon as that's gone, now you're looking at an unbreakable savage. I can't remember. Was that decision? Did people contest that, or did people feel like that was like,
there were some. Yeah, there were some that didn't like it, but I don't think it was as bad as the one that happened this weekend, where everyone was literally losing their minds.
Yeah.
Did you guys check?
What did you guys think?
Well, I'll ask you first because I did a whole fucking thing on it, and I'll get back into it in a sec. But Kenan, what did you think about it?
I didn't even watch it, bro, to be honest.
I don't blame you. It was a terrible fight. Like that's what I'm saying. We're all flipping out about judging. Dude, the fight sucked. Maybe the judges fell asleep. I don't know.
I'll say this, like, whenever there's like an Apex fight, I'm like, oh my God, not again,
Yeah,
so, I don't really if it's a really good fight and it happens in the Apex, I'll watch it. But like if it's just like some random like filler card at the Apex, I won't really watch it.
Nothing against Kai Kara-France or Albazi. And by the way, I picked when the year started, I picked Albazi to be the champ by the end of the year. Like, I was very high on this guy. I'm still high on him. But in this fight over here, I was like getting bored, and I had to watch it again to see if I got it right the first time. The first time I thought Kai won, and then the second time I was like, I can see how the judges went to Albazi. I am definitely in the minority here, but I do feel like the judges might be getting an unfair shake. There are some shaky, like there are situations where you're looking at these judges and you're like, hey, what are they thinking? But it's not every single time. If you go back and watch, there are a lot of times where I'm like, wait, I think it went the other way. When you're in the heat of the moment, you're rooting for a guy, all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's a robbery. But how many times have you watched it back and be like, I see something a little different? Has it ever happened?
Yeah, and what I noticed, like, because everybody agrees Kai won the 5th round, right?
Yes, I agree with that.
Okay. So that's kind of what my position is on all of these, is like, and I'm not talking about this particular fight, but I think a lot of them where people are like, oh my God. And then when you watch it back, you're like, dude, most of the time when that happens, the guy who did not get picked won the 5th round. And then you go back and look and it's like, dude, you can easily see how he was down 3-1 going into that fight, or going into that round. It's like, it's the last thing people see, like the Volkanovski and Islam Makhachev fight. Like, I didn't understand. I was like, yeah, Volkanovski clearly won the 5th round, but like that didn't seem like a bad decision to me at all. And then we watched it back and it wasn't, you know what I mean? This one, I don't know. It wasn't. I get bent out of shape about judging where it's just absolutely indisputable, like whatever fuckwad picked Cheeto Vera over Sandhagen. Fucking get that guy out of here, dude. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff where you're just like,
100%.
that is a completely indefensible pick.
That I agree with. That I absolutely agree with. Those are the times we should go crazy. If it's a close fight and if it goes to the judges, you just never know. These are human beings that are sitting cage side and they're seeing something different than I'm seeing on TV. I thought in a rewatch, I was like, holy shit, it's way closer than I thought Kai won the first time. I was like, damn, man, this could be a robbery. But it's funny, right before they went to the judges, I looked at the percentage. Did you see the percentage of Kai Kara-France's strikes thrown and landed? It was like 20.
No, what was it?
It was like 20%. He threw like 320 strikes, landed like 80.
Yeah.
So
the one thing I was going to say too is like about just when you mentioned the cage side thing is like the one thing that I can say, like now that I've really sat cage side, like for 287, because I've gone to the million shows, but like when I've really been right there. The one thing that doesn't translate on TV is the sound sometimes. Like when a guy lands a shot and you're 10 feet away, it's like, whoa, dude. Like that sounded like a fucking nuclear shot he just hit him with, in a way that like, and you know, not all of them, just some of them. And that never only, I mean, every once in a while you'll have one on the TV that translates, but it happens a lot more. And so maybe sometimes you just, you know, it's a shot that just really sounds super heavy a lot when you're cage side and you give it more weight. I don't know.
Yeah,
you know?
That's true. You know, I've been screaming for, like, you pay $85 for a pay-per-view, and I want them to have the broadcast without the commentators, where you just hear the sound. Yeah, just the sound.
You do pay 85?
Oh, yeah, I actually do. Yeah, I can't. If I didn't have this channel, I wouldn't. Like, if we weren't reacting, I wouldn't pay. I'm just being, and we're sponsored. We got ESPN Plus. We got the whole. I wouldn't pay. I gotta be honest. I think it's just too much fucking money, man. Like it's ridiculous. But
Rogan's not even going. Rogan's not even working the show.
Yeah, he don't even want to go anymore. I don't blame him. But what do you think of this card?
It's awful. It's they're gonna do this card is like, this is like a beta test. They're like, let's see how many people will buy whatever shit we put out. You know.
100%. Kenan, when they said Amanda Nunes is going to be headlining this card, and then Irene Aldana slips in, it was Juliana Pena originally, but Irene Aldana slips in. Listen, they're both badasses. Don't get me wrong. You know, I don't want to sound like a casual, and Amanda Nunes is one of the greatest to ever do it, but who gives a fuck? Like, maybe I'm nuts. I don't know.
This is a fight card that is deserving to be on the Apex.
Yeah. Is it worth? That's the question.
Put this on the Apex. That's cool.
Is it worth $85? I mean, listen, there's some good fights, but is it really?
I mean, I'll give you guys a tip. If you go over to UFCArabia.com and use a VPN, you can buy the Fight Pass for $5, and it includes all the pay-per-views, and with Fight Pass for only $5 a month.
Wait a second. Hold on a second. Hold on. First,
I gave you guys the inside scoop now.
Say it again.
UFCArabia.com. All right, you can only access it through a VPN. You got to
because you have to look like you're in Saudi Arabia or what?
Yeah, I mean, or like, you know, Algeria or like any North African country, and then you can go ahead and buy the subscription for Fight Pass, and that includes all the pay-per-views with English commentary. It's all just the same.
You know,
only for $5.
Like, that's not really illegal. Like VPNs are legal.
Yeah, no. It's not illegal. It's very, very legit.
Jesse, what do you think about this?
Sounds like
I've been doing that.
Yeah, sounds like an $85 reduction in what I spend every month.
It's freaking nuts. There's some cards I'm like, what am I doing here? Why am I doing this? And yeah, I mean, listen, I don't want to promote like pirating. I'm not for that. You know, because especially
I never stream fights, never.
We've been doing this for almost 7 years, and I've bought every single fucking pay-per-view. So it's like at the end of it's a lot of fucking money at the end of the day when you think about it. But still, I'm a fan, right? And they provide me entertainment. They also provide a roof over my head. So I'm gonna keep on paying for it. And I don't want everyone. If everyone just started doing this, the UFC is not gonna make any money. You know. But when it comes to pay-per-view buys, when was the last time they released the numbers?
They release them sometimes. I mean, like BKFC, as an example, just came out and said that they did. I can't remember what the exact number was, but for Mike Perry and Luke Rockhold, I think it was like 150,000 buys. And they said that they got some kind of number that said they had 700,000, pirated streams.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I have absolutely no idea where they would get that number from, but I don't doubt it. I don't doubt that even a little bit. And that shit fucking pisses me off. Like that, like it really does. Like when you got when you got like a fucking 6-1 stealing something that these guys are like, mortgage. I'm not like, Dave Feldman is whatever. He's a guy trying to put together a thing, and he mortgaged his fucking house to put that fight on. And then you got 7-1 assholes fucking stealing it. That shit pisses me off, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty messed up. We had they reached out to us and like, hey, you want to do an affiliate for? I'm like, yeah, and they never they kind of fell off. They never even told us the analytics. They said, hey, we're going to get back to you. We're going to pay you this and that. Nothing. They just bounced, dude. I think they're really going through some shit. I think Bare Knuckle is really having some issues, and they're just.
Well, did you get paid at least?
What's that?
Did you get paid?
Nope. Didn't pay us. Nope. And I'm thinking about
maybe nobody bought it.
I shouldn't be saying this live, but yeah, they didn't pay us. And I was like, damn, bro, like what the fuck? Like they didn't give us the stats. They didn't, and it was super cool on the way up. And I've always had a great relationship with BKFC. They give us media passes. Feldman's a great guy. Like everything's good. But I really truly feel that they are hurting, man. Like, I know they're with Triller, but that didn't save them. They keep on doubling and tripling down with these events. They keep on pumping them out. So I'm rooting for them.
I don't understand.
They got to find a new format.
Yeah, I was talking to Chael about this actually, and so I said I thought that Triller bought them.
That's what I thought,
or whatever, and then I thought that Triller raised $300 million, and Chael was like, nah, I don't know. And then I found a press release after we talked because he's like, Chael's like, nah, dude. He's like, I don't think that they got that type of money. And then I found the press release and it said they raised $300 million, like Triller did. But then everyone I've talked to on the, like Alan Belcher, the heavyweight champion at BKFC, that's my dude. And like, from what I'm hearing, like that, there's no oh, Triller bought us, they have $300 million, so BKFC has budget. Like what you're saying sounds much more in line with what sounds like is happening over there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, most of the people that we've spoken to, that's what they said. Like Triller was help them, but it didn't completely dig them out. It's not like an endless supply of money. That's what I thought it was going to be. Like they were going to they were going to sign everybody to the promotion because now they got that Triller money, but no, it's not like that. So it gave them a little bit of cushion, but not much. So you're friends with Belcher?
Business,
yeah.
Oh, okay. We got to do something.
Yeah, he's gonna come out here. He's gonna come out here and stay with me. Actually,
no kidding.
He's going on a fucking nationwide tour. He's going to New Mexico to train with Jones. He's coming out here to hang out. He's going to we might go to Dallas, hang out with his agent, and then there's somewhere else he's going. He's supposed to text me some dates or whatever.
He's fighting.
But yeah, he's a fucking badass, dude.
He is.
He's a badass.
He's fighting my buddy Ben Rothwell. We got to do like if that gets locked up, if that does happen, I mean, we got to do some cross things over here with Ben and Belcher, man. That'd be hilarious.
Luke Belcher will come on this with us anytime I ask him to, 100%.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Yeah, he's a what? I mean, All right. So how much roids is Belcher on right now? If you look at the old pictures to now, how much sauce is Belcher on?
I would never comment on anything like that. I would say that I wouldn't want to get punched in the face with a bare fist of his at all. You know?
Me neither. No.
But yeah, he's a fucking beast, dude. He's like, he's not that big though. Like, he's like 230. He's like 230 or something like that. Where because I spoke to the matchmaker at BKFC and we were actually talking about that matchup, and he's like, have you ever seen Rothwell in person? I'm like, no, I've never interacted with him at all. He's like, dude, he's like, you can't even fucking fathom how big this guy is. He said that he's got, if he's a fucking pound under 300, he's like, his hands are this big. He's just this fucking mammoth of a man. And Belcher's just not that big. So it's like, but honestly, the guy that Belcher beat for the title is super big too. Yeah. And, Belcher's a lot more technical than these guys, a lot more technical. So we'll see. I mean, he's super fast, super technical. He's 9-0 in his last 9 boxing matches with 8 straight knockouts. So
wow,
he's fighting. Wait, is this announced? I'm not sure if this is announced yet. I'm not sure if I can say that actually. But he might have a fight. He might have another boxing match coming up. That's not BKFC. I don't want to step on their announcement in case they haven't announced it yet. But it'll come. I mean, I'll text him and see if I can say it. I'll say it afterwards if I can.
Okay. Yeah. Listen, that's what I like about BKFC. It's open. They can compete in other places. They're not tied down to one spot. PFL does the same thing too. I wish the UFC kind of let more guys, do more stuff outside. But I get it. They get hurt or something like that, then they're screwed with the UFC. So, Kenan, what do you think about BKFC?
Yeah, do we know what the biggest pay-per-view was that they did? Was it like Paulie Malignaggi versus Artem?
Dude, so yeah, the one that just happened should have been the biggest one, but I guess it wasn't. So maybe
it was.
It didn't feel
but it wasn't because I think streaming is becoming so easy now.
Yeah. And
people are just exponentially learning that they can stream, that it's just like the piracy is completely fucking out of control. Like that's my take. Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. Oh yeah, they're like, yeah, we did 80,000 fucking buys. It's like, how come every person on earth saw that fight then? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Literally, there's not one person I talked to that didn't see that fight, and yet fucking 60,000 people or whatever bought it. Come on.
Yeah, that's why I'm curious. We'll circle back around what we were saying before about the UFC releasing their pay-per-view buys. I haven't seen it in a while. It used to be after every pay-per-view, wait a couple of weeks, you get the number. It was an estimate number, but it was ballpark number, and you can talk about it. Now nothing's being released. Chad, let me know.
Ever since ESPN, right? Ever since ESPN, it's been kind of dwindling.
Yeah, well, ever since the Conor McGregor effect and all that stuff, like they were boasting about their numbers constantly, and we haven't heard a peep about pay-per-views. And the rumblings are that they're just not doing good with these pay-per-view numbers, but they're not going to show it.
Yeah. I don't think
like wasn't there a story? Wasn't there a story about that John Jones and Cyril Gons did like 1 million buys? Did I make that up?
It's nonsense. There's no possible way that made that. No way.
Maybe 500K.
Because did John Jones ever hit 1 million pay-per-view buys? Like that's the thing.
At most he did 750 against DC number one.
Yeah, like John Jones.
Ali Abdelaziz said last pay-per-view almost 1 million buys.
Yeah, well,
unreliable course. Unreliable course.
Yeah. Wait, I swear that there was like a story about that. Like I could have swore that there was a story about that where I don't know.
Jesse, what's your affiliation with Ali? Because it seems to be good. You've had Bilal and Gilbert Burns on on your YouTube channel. So how did you?
Yeah, he and I are cool.
So
yeah, he and I are cool. Like I text back and forth. He and I have FaceTimed a couple times. He's good people, dude.
So what did you connect through, like social media?
How did I connect with him first, dude? I think you know what I think it was. I did a video about this is a long a couple of years ago. I did a video about something. And I spoke positively about his role in it, and then he hit me up on Instagram. I think is how that happened.
Huh? Okay. Yeah, because it's tough
to get. Policy is like these guys that where people shit on them all the time. It's like if you just speak positively about them, a lot of times they'll reach out to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was shocked.
Everybody. Oh, here we go. Belcher said. Okay, never mind. No, I can't talk about it. I'm glad I didn't fucking say it. Glad I didn't say it.
So it's a big deal then. It sounds like it's going to be a big thing. Good for him.
You'll yeah.
Interesting. Let's try to take guesses. Keenan, you have any guesses?
You won't guess it.
I wouldn't be able to know.
He's not fighting John Jones, right? But it's notable for sure.
Did you see the dumbass video that Jake Paul released? Right before we went live, I noticed it where he's squaring up with Masvidal. Yeah, you saw that?
I just posted it, man.
Oh, did you post it?
Wait, what is
it?
Bro.
Yeah, right? What the fuck? What was that?
Masvidal pulled up to the better warehouse, Jake Paul's thing. And then they just had a face off. But it was so staged, Masvidal pulls out of nowhere, you know what I mean? Why is he even at the warehouse? How does he even know?
Yeah.
They were confronting one another,
Yeah, hold on, I'll pull it up.
What's Masvidal's contractual situation with the UFC is the question. Can he box? Can he box against Jake Paul? Because that fight fucking sells.
He's still under contract. Oh, there you go. Yeah. So it was outside of better. He walks out, and Masvidal. It was this goofy. It was so silly, man.
They're all begging ARIEL, yeah. They're all begging to get their ass whooped and slipped. You know what I mean? Get out of here, bro. Come on, man. Don't pull up and let Jake be, bro. The guy is just winning on his own, man.
Yeah, I have a feeling they texted each other and said, "Hey, man, let's put this on social media."
They were friends too. They were
Masvidal needs another case. What's that?
They were friends too. Before Jake was fighting Ben Askren, they were training together, and now all of a sudden they're not friends anymore. Come on, man.
Yeah.
No, they're friends. They're friends. And also, Masvidal needs another fucking case like he needs a hole directly in his forehead, dude. He's got his dad facing fucking life in prison. He's got this Colby shit. He needs a violent altercation, 0%.
Yeah. I'm kind of glad that Masvidal's on the next phase of his career because I was done with the street Jesus, and I'm gonna, it was that ship has sailed. I'm glad he's doing well, but it was getting a little stale, I think.
Yeah, he just needs to. I mean, honestly though, if the UFC, because the UFC has let certain guys go, dude. They let Aldo go. In Masvidal, they might let him go, dude. If you look, it's if you're Dana and you keep Masvidal under contract, given the amount of fights that he had, there's no future for him in the UFC really, and you keep him under contract. Why? You know what I mean?
That's true.
Just so he can't fight Jake Paul. It's fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Put a leash on him and just chain him to the fucking radiator.
Yep. Yeah. Like the little good boy you are.
Turn him loose.
You do what you're told.
Do what you're told.
Yeah, you'll do as you're told.
So have you guys
like for a fact Dana White is not gonna let him go because like when he pulled up to fight Usman in Abu Dhabi, I'm so sure he like negotiated like the fattest check, and like Dana's probably still salty about that. So he's like, no way you're gonna get like another one up on me.
So, but that's the thing. No, I agree with you that like for sure up until the Gilbert Burns fight, there's no way Dana was gonna do like not even he wouldn't have let him go. But like at this point, there's no more juice to squeeze out of that orange. You know what I mean? It's like he lost to Usman, Colby, Gilbert. Like it's a wrap, dude. Like in UFC, it's a wrap. The only thing Dana would be doing by keeping him under contract is just limiting or stopping his ability to go make money elsewhere, to kind of like jam up the competition. But there's not any real competition. Jake Paul is not real competition to them. Like there's no reason to keep him under contract. Like there isn't. Yeah, and they let Jose Aldo go. They let Anderson Silva go. There are guys they're letting go. Like they didn't let George St. Pierre go because George St. Pierre fucking retired when he was 32 or whatever. And Dana's like, dude, you want to fight? Fucking come fight here, asshole. You're fucking 36 years old, 35 years old, But with like Masvidal, he's done it. Like let him. Honestly, I would not be surprised at all if Dana let Masvidal go and go fight Jake.
You're making good points. I'm thinking of Rockhold too. Rockhold was doing nothing but shitting on them, and then they're like, go ahead. You can go do your thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it makes sense. It does make sense. Yeah. So are you guys?
That's true. I hadn't even thought about that, Rockhold. That's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
He did nothing but shit on them at the end. Like it was weird. Yeah. Like he had a weird. But yeah, they's like, do your thing, man. Go get fucked up by Mike Perry. I was dude. That shocked the hell out of me. Like I understand Luke Rockhold hasn't been on the winning path, but Mike Perry to do that to him, I was like, damn, bro. Mike's found his lane.
Yeah, yep. I asked Belcher about that. Like, say again.
Luke's fighting style is not cut out for that. Mm-hmm. In the pocket, in the face, brutality. Mike Perry's got like 2 brain cells. Like Luke's trying to be like all smart and pretty. There's no way that's gonna work. As soon as like the fire is on him, he's gonna crumble, and he did.
Yeah, dude, you take the kicks out too for Rockhold. That stuff. But I asked Belcher about like, I don't know, because my theory had always been that there's not that much difference between, MMA gloves and bare knuckle, and kind of all bare knuckle does is like, swell up the face more and like potentially knock out teeth. And I'm like, dude, wouldn't this sport be kind of the same if you just put on the gloves? And Belcher's like, nah, dude. He's like, it's very different. He's like, he said that jabs, especially like those jabs fucking hurt. He said that rabbit punches aren't shit with with an MMA glove. And he's like, but they fucking hurt with a bare knuckle. He said it's very different. And and so you look at, that Rockhold and Perry, because the thing is you can't spar, bare knuckle really. And so he gets in there. It's the first time he's really getting lit up with a bare knuckle. He gets his teeth knocked out. He's like, Jesus fucking Christ, get me out of here, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he definitely did not want to be there. It was so funny to watch. The whole walkout, the lead up was cringe, and then for him to go out like that, it was the best possible ending to that match. I loved every minute of it. So the TUF, here we go. TUF 31, Conor McGregor, Chandler. The ratings, they don't seem very good. I feel like it's a stale product.
300K for Conor is kind of like, really? That's it? 300K?
That's nuts, right? So what do you guys think? Have you been watching him?
I watched the fights. But also here. Okay, so I just did a video about this yesterday. So here's my take on this. When they did that Ultimate Fighter last time, 2014, right? Or it was 2014, right? Last time Conor was on Ultimate Fighter, 2014.
That sounds about right. I don't remember what year it was, but yeah, that's in the ballpark. Yeah.
Yeah, because that was when TJ and Uriah Faber were going through that. That's 2014, I think. So you're talking 9 years ago, and so the ratings, when they're giving you the ratings numbers, those are Nielsen ratings. That's cable. That's it. That's just how many people are watching this on cable. And so I hear that and I'm like, all right, so you have to factor in how many people have fucking dumped their cable in the last decade. A lot, dude. So you got to figure there's a lot of people watching on ESPN Plus versus how many people are watching on TV. And then you also factor in the fact that Ultimate Fighter's been on for fucking 10 more years. So it's just stale. And then also Conor's won one fight in the last 7 years, and you got all those, and it's kind of like, I don't think it's as bad as it looks, but yeah, I mean, I think it's mostly has to do with Ultimate Fighter than anything else. I think that when him and Chandler fight, I think the numbers are going to be as good as they can possibly be for the UFC. I don't think that like, you know, the juice on a Conor McGregor UFC fight is not affected. I don't think. Do you guys think it is?
No, I think once he steps back into that cage and people are buying pay-per-views, it's going to be through the roof. And that's when they're going to miraculously start showing the numbers again. That's what I think.
Yeah.
You know,
True.
like it's
It'll
just all of a
like
sudden.
1.5 mil.
Yeah, it's. I think it's going to do like that. He definitely moves the needle no matter what. I think you can't stop him there. But there is a little bit that is lost. There is something about him that he's still funny, and I still love the guy. Like, I will root for that guy no matter what. Like, I'm a Conor guy, ride or die, right? But, you know, there is a part of it that's just like, oh, damn, man, it's getting a little cringy, man. With the, you know, he's a little swollen.
I'll tell you what it is. It's just he is too much now in, like, the public eye, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to, like, do all of his movements and all of his sayings like he was saying back when he was winning. But now he doesn't win anymore. He's too much on like Twitter, too active on like social media. He's like becoming like, I don't know, common in the eye, you know? He's like, what do they say? Absence makes the heart go fonder, right? But I don't think that he's doing it right now.
I think part of that is true where like, I mean, man, when you are getting, it's like if you're a regular person, right? Like you're like just a regular guy, you're charismatic like Conor was, and then you first get into the public eye, you're still that guy just coming into the public eye. And so that's kind of like the person you are. Having been as famous as Conor is for as long as he has been, to where the majority of people that he interacts with are literally just fucking drinking his cum all the time. You know, like no matter what he does, they're telling me he's fucking awesome. You know, the cameras are on all the time. He's like, I just go back to that kind of like interaction that he had with Ryan Garcia after the fight where he's like, I want to see it again. I want to see it again. And I'm just like, he's not even talking to Ryan Garcia. Like he's literally talking to the room. Like he's not even talking to him. He's like, he's putting on a show for all the people in the room in this like almost like he's in a play or something, you know what I mean? Where it's like it just doesn't come off as genuine anymore. And I'm not like, that's not even a knock on him. I think it's just it's like a symptom of being that fucking famous. It just makes people crazy. You know what I mean?
That makes sense. Yeah. I tell you what, man, I am listen, I know you're cool with Chandler, right? And I have nothing against Michael Chandler. I do have a hot take that he might be a little bit overrated, even though I still think the guy's awesome. I think this guy is like, when he fights, I'm zoned in. But for me, as a content creator, if McGregor needs to win. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like McGregor
have to win.
You gotta win, dude. Come on now.
Like my kids gotta eat, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like McGregor winning is there's nothing but good things
when
that come out.
McGregor wins, everybody wins.
It's red penny night for the fighters, it's red penny night for the YouTubers, it's red penny night for the media, Dana White, everyone wins when McGregor wins. When he loses and loses and loses and his stock starts dropping, well, it's not much fun anymore. We need to, who's next? Sean O'Malley? Listen, I can't listen to that guy fucking talk. I can't do it.
Yeah, but he's really exciting to watch fight, man. He's so exciting to watch fight. He's not Conor on the microphone at all. He's not really trying to be though either. That's what I like about him is like, as much as it's like he's figured out a way to be as sticky as he possibly can be. You know, it's like, why else would you do rainbow fucking hair, dude? Like he's doing it because he understands the game that he's playing, and he's not trying to be something that he's not. But like with Conor, I mean, he has to win, man. Like it's the same as like when Tiger Woods was gacked out on fucking 18 different painkillers and tranquilizers and all that, and he's trying to play golf, and everybody's like, and you know, it's like, oh, he's never gonna be the same, and it's like, just fucking go to rehab, Tiger. Jesus, I want to like golf again, you know. And then he goes to rehab, he comes back, and then when he goes on that run, he gets second place in the PGA, and then he wins the Masters, and like, there's not a fucking human being with a pulse that was not rooting for him in that Masters, dude. You know what I mean? It's like every person who's a fan of golf is watching that like, please God, let him fucking win this tournament. It's the same thing. It's like there are certain people that just they elevate, and every single thing around the sport that they're in elevates.
Yeah,
you know?
I love the debate between fans. I love the people that love Conor. I love the people that hate Conor. Actually, the people that hate Conor are even better. They're more fun because now you can bounce off of these people, and there's a lot of hostility. I like that. I like fighters that bring that, to the table. And, I see Sean O'Malley, nothing against the guy, a very skilled athlete. I just see Aljamain Sterling just ragdolling him, like he says, right across the – I mean, how the hell does he beat Aljo?
He has, I was actually thinking about this the other day where like every person on the face of the earth is going to pick Aljo because if Aljo's able to get his arms around him, he's going to strangle him. It's as simple as that. Like there's no other outcome if Aljo gets his arms around him.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's the same thing as like Conor going into his Aldo fight. Every fucking person on earth picked Aldo, and then Conor starched him in 13 seconds. In the event that O'Malley somehow pulls that off, like has some fucking highlight knockout on Aljo, we're going to have Conor part 2, But the reality is that almost, 85% Aljo whips his fucking ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What is Aljo going to look for? Well, I don't want to get kneed in the head. I want to be clipped with an uppercut. I don't want any of that stuff happening. If he stops the takedowns, what are we going to do here? But I think if Aljo's relentless, I don't like how do you close the gap? Aljo has been wrestling for so fucking long, and Sean O'Malley's he even admitted his weakness. I'm sure he's a lot better now. His jiu-jitsu is actually not bad, right? But his weakness has always been this. How is he going to learn that in such a short amount of time, or how is he going to get the takedown defense or hit him with the knee? I don't know. I think Aljo's he's too in the zone. He's too smart. He's been through everything. He's already if he didn't lose to Marlon Moraes the way he did, I would say, you know what? Maybe that knee is there. But he already did. He's been there, done that.
Yeah. O'Malley has real long arms, though, and he's good with those front headlock positions. And, if Aljo can get to his legs without getting his head grabbed, it's going to be tough. But, you saw that it's so funny. I did this fucking video, and I had just found this random video from, 5 years ago of O'Malley submitting Takanori Gomi, and I said something about it, and then I was like, oh, fuck, I got to do a video about that. And then I went to jiu-jitsu, came back 6 hours later, Guru did a video about it. So he saw me bring it up, and then he did the video.
He beat you to it.
But it was like a fucking diamond in the rough that just randomly got suggested to me where I was like, how the fuck did I never see this? Because Takanori Gomi is fucking legit grappler. And Sean O'Malley years ago, guillotined him. And it was like, damn, all right. And so, those guys with those long arms, because they could just slip them underneath your neck and then just choke you. And so, I don't know. It's not like it's impossible, but, man, he does not have a good body type to defend against somebody who just fucking climbs his back, at all. And that's Aljo's so good at that. And the other thing, too, is on the feet, what Aljamain does so well, people don't think of him as being a good striker, but what he does really well, because he's much better than people give him credit for, is he's so herky-jerky. He has no fucking pattern. He has no rhythm. There's nothing you can time, and he does it on purpose. And O'Malley is like a timer where he's figuring them out, and then he hits the openings, and Aljo is nearly impossible to do that with. So it really favors Aljamain, I think. That matchup is terrible for O'Malley.
On the stand-up than a lot of people think. And it's in the stand-up, I think Aljo, he's a little bit more quick than him. And I think maybe Sean likes to wait for the right perfect opening. Then he will.
Yes, he does.
He won't really jab, come forward, uppercut, let me see what's open there. No, that's mainly Aljo style. So it won't be stand up O'Malley grappling, Aljo. It'll be a lot closer. And I think, Aljo is a champion for a reason, man.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Aljo, listen, I understand why people shit on him, why, with all the cringy stuff that he has done. I understand why people have clowned Aljo for a while. But now, you got to give this guy the respect he deserves. This dude has defended the belt. He went in there against Cejudo, did what he had to do. He redeemed himself against Jan. I know there's controversies with the TJ thing and all that. But at the end of the day, if you could put aside not liking him as a person or whatever, you got to really appreciate what he's done at bantamweight, and I think he's in the mix for one of the greatest that's ever done it at bantamweight.
He's won a lot of fights against a lot of really good guys. The TJ thing, it's like people breaking his balls. TJ's the one that went in there with a fucking shoulder that slid out 30 times in his training camp. How is that Aljamain's fault?
Yeah. You know what's funny? I bet on TJ
even
in
in
that
the
fight. I was furious.
TJ said like, oh, like I wouldn't want to wait another year to get the title shot. But like, you were gonna get the title shot anyway, even if you waited. So like, why did you go like? Why did you fight now?
Dude, I hate that.
Who?
TJ, like after he lost to Aljo, he said like, oh, like if I sat through it, I could have waited a year, and then he would probably get the title shot after a year. But why didn't he just wait it? You know?
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't stand it. Listen, I understand these guys are warriors and they'll go in there and they'll battle through injuries. But if it's that serious, like there's a lot not only on the line for them, but you know there are people betting some serious fucking money. You know what I'm saying? Like to have that extra weight on your shoulder going in there with one arm drove me nuts. I actually bet on TJ in that fight, and I was furious when I found out he was injured. I was like, come on, bro. Like, are you kidding me? Could you give me a heads up or something? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, and like, you know, it's funny. Like, how many people that are in TJ's camp you think bet on fucking Aljo? They've watched this guy's fucking shoulder slide out every single day. They're like, hey, dude, don't tell anybody, but fucking bet the house on Aljo, dude. 100%. TJ hits the floor once and his fucking shoulder's popping out.
Isn't it crazy that we're having this whole conversation over here? We dabbled on UFC 289 and bounced as quick as we possibly could, right? It's kind of this fucking.
What do you think about
Apex, move on. Apex quality, move on.
Yeah, Charles and Dariush is the only one. What do you guys think about that fight?
I mean,
Beneil's gonna win.
Kenan, go ahead.
Yeah, Beneil's gonna win. I think Beneil is prime right now. Oliveira, he was talking about mental stress and this and that. Maybe he doesn't feel like he's the man that he used to be. You know, after a loss like that, you're on a decline already. So maybe like some guy's going to like step over you and get his title shot. I think Beneil is one of those guys that got disrespected a lot. And I think he's got the right style. He's got proper boxing, a lot of experience. He's been like in the lightweight division for so many years. So I think with his wrestling now, I think he'll be able to keep him down. I think it's only 3 rounds, so I think Beneil can get it.
Let's how about this? So let's say, well, let me say this about Charles. I don't like when people do the thing that Charles just did when he was talking about the Islam fight, where he was like, "I just wasn't there that day." It's like, oh Jesus, man, come on. Like, it's okay. Like sometimes you lose. Like Islam Makhachev is a fucking savage. He beat you. Like maybe on that day he was just a better fighter. It doesn't, you know, you don't need to be like, oh, it's just a shell of myself on this one day, and it's just terrible that it happened that day. It's like, get the fuck out of here, man. You lost a fight. It's fine, dude. It's fine. You'll be back. But like the fucked up thing is, so if Charles does win and he wins in like really impressive fashion, he probably I mean, depending on whatever happens with Conor, but he probably gets a title shot. If Beneil wins, he's fucked, man. Because you got like the Dustin, you know, if Gaethje beats Dustin, he'll get a title shot. If Dustin beats Gaethje, he might get a title shot. If you know, I don't know, fill in the blank with any other reason that they could not give Dariush a title shot, he won't get a title shot. Like, they are not going to give that guy a title shot if there is another option. You know what I mean? Like, he's just, as many fights as he's won, you could go to any casual fan in the world and you're like, hey, excited to watch Beneil Dariush fight Charles Oliveira. They're all, oh, I've heard Charles Oliveira. Who's, you know what I mean? He's just like one of those guys that's like an invisible fighter.
100%. Yeah. Benny's it's always been like that, right? He's just that weird dad-looking guy that just keeps winning, and people are just like, I don't care, you know. But I got to be honest with you, I understand people look past Benny, but he's the favorite in this fight by a little smidge. And I am all over Charles Oliveira. I think Charles is going to fucking win this fight. I think Charles is going to come.
Hope so.
I think Charles is going to come back.
Too. I really hope so too.
He's going to come back with a vengeance, man. He's going to take out all his frustration on Benny. And Benny's very good. But when I was looking through his resume, like, what's this signature win? Gamrot? Gamrot's very good. But, I mean, is Gamrot going to be a champion? No, I don't think so. I mean, do you think Gamrot's going to be a champion? He's good, but I don't see champion there.
And it's not like that was like a super impressive, you know, performance either.
No. Like, I'm looking through his resume. I'm like, wait, who's the best guy he beat? I mean, at least, Oliveira finished Poirier. Not that long ago. I mean, you look at Tony Ferguson, Gamrot, Ferreira, Holtzman, Drakkar Klose. I mean, who the fuck cares about these guys? Like, what's the biggest guy on this thing? Gamrot's the biggest guy that Benny beat. And what? Yeah, like you said, was it very impressive? No, I mean, no. I think Oliveira goes in there and makes a statement against Mr. Dariush.
Oliveira was a great champion too. You know, it's hard to pick against him, but I don't know, man. It's just something is up in the air. I'm not a superstitious guy, but something just feels weird about like him winning this time.
Yeah, well, the problem with him running around with that fucking blonde hair and all those weirdos with the blonde hair with him, that drives me nuts. I mean, he needs to stop doing that. He needs to cut that shit out. But I think this will be a different Charles. And Charles is a year younger, too, which I thought for some reason Charles was older. I don't know why. But Charles,
because he's been fighting since he was fucking 11 years old in the UFC.
Yeah. It's crazy, right? You think about Charles's career, man. If he could bounce back again, another redemption story. I mean, he already has the redemption story, but double redemption, Charles Oliveira. Like what?
Let's go.
It's crazy.
And that's the thing, dude. Is like that's another thing. It was like he only lost to Islam Makhachev. That if he would have won, if he would have just not had that fight, there's not a person on fucking earth that'd be picking Dariush. He lost to Makhachev, right? Makhachev is a completely different animal than Dariush, you know, in my opinion. But it was really similar to like when Max Holloway lost to Volkanovski twice, and then he was going into that Calvin Kattar fight. I picked him. I was like, everyone was picking Kattar. I was like, guys,
what the hell was that?
Guys, about? He lost 2 close decisions to Volkanovski. I know it's like, oh man, he lost 2 in a row. I'm like, he lost 2 razor thin decisions to Volkanovski. He's going to beat the brakes off of Calvin Kattar. And then he landed 150,000 fucking strikes on Kattar. And he almost killed him.
Yep. Yeah.
Like going into the fight, they're talking about, Calvin Kattar's boxing. Like, bro, who has he boxed up anyway, bro? Like, you're talking about his boxing? You're only talking about his boxing because the rest sucks. You know what I mean? Come on now.
I'm looking. I just saw in the chat, someone was saying that, I think it was Ninja Choke, was saying that Oliveira's going to get knocked out. And I was looking at Benny's resume. He hasn't knocked out anyone since 2020. It was a spinning back fist. It was a gimmick. The overhand left was before that in March against Drakkar Klose and Scott Holtzman. So it's like, I mean, listen, guys, it's not impossible. The 4-ounce gloves, anything can happen. It's why we watch the fight. But if you really look at, the stats and these guys' paths to where they've been, I don't understand how Charles Oliveira is not the favorite in this fight. Can Benny win?
When's the last time Dariush knocked? Actually, I'll look it up too. But when's the last time Dariush knocked someone out? Not like before that.
So the spinning back fist happened in August, and then you have the overhand left in 2020 March of 2020. So he did knock someone out clean there with the overhand left. That was Drakkar Klose. Okay, Drakkar Klose, who is a very good fighter. Look at 13-2-1, very good fighter. Champion, I don't know about that, but I mean, still, winning record. Yeah, okay, good, but that's not the information we need right now.
Yeah, and the guys before that, submission. You're not fucking submitting Charles Oliveira unless you stiff him on the way. Unless he's stung like he was against Islam.
Yeah, I wonder what the prop is for Benny by submission. I wonder what that is.
He went knockout loss, draw, knockout loss, and then he started his run. Yeah, so he's got Thiago Moises decision, Drew Dober armbar, rear naked on Frank Camacho. Yeah, I mean, dude, these are fucking nothing wins. And Ferguson is a nothing win in 2021. These are fucking nothing wins.
His last loss was to Alex Hernandez. I mean, nothing against Alex Hernandez, but we've seen him shit the bed many of times. Like, the hell? I mean, I don't know. The disrespect.
When you put it that way, Moss, when you really put it that way, is like why are you picking Beneil to win? But like I said, man, there's something in the air, man.
And that's fair. That we've seen that many of times.
Confidence. He's won a lot of fights in a row, man. Like that shit matters. It depends on. If Charles can kind of shake it off and get back. I mean, you would think he could, given kind of the up and down and then the run that he went on. I mean, he fucking man. Let me look at that. Let me look at that fucking run. Because like Charles won so many fights in a row, it was insane.
Oh, it's crazy. Here, I'll pull it up here. Yeah, I mean, 33-9-0.
Yeah, starting in 2018. He beat Guida, Giagos. Submission. Then he beat Jim Miller, submission. He beat Timur, submission. Then he beat Nick Lentz, knockout. Then he beat Jared Gordon, knockout. Then he beat Kevin Lee, submission. Then he beat Tony Ferguson by decision, where he beat the brakes off of him. Michael Chandler by knockout. Dustin Poirier by submission. Justin Gaethje by submission. Look at fucking that
nuts.
Compared to Dariush.
It's nuts.
Jesus Christ.
You can't compare it, man. Look,
Good God. That's fucking ridiculous. Look at that compared to Dariush. Dude.
And he's the underdog.
Guida, Giagos, Jim Miller, Timur, Lentz, Gordon, Kevin Lee, Tony Ferguson, Michael Chandler, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje. That's fucking insane. That's like a different organization than the fucking guys that Darius just beat.
100%.
Look,
so
it doesn't mean he's gonna win.
So
but
Kenan,
I mean, Jesus.
I'm gonna rewatch everything. I'm gonna like really study the fights, all the like past performances, weaknesses, like strengths. Then I'll come back to you guys and give my official prediction. But like right now, it's still superstitious, Kenan. Like I won't say it's not Mystic Ken.
The 5 reasons that Charles is gonna get his ass kicked by Darius.
That'd be some video. That'd be some video. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The fact that Charles, listen, I understand Benny's on a run, but giving Charles, making him the under, making him the plus money, I'm salivating right now. I got to jump on.
I'm betting on it right now. Yeah. I am literally betting on it as we speak, right this second.
So there you go, Kenan.
I gotta take him after looking at that. I have to.
It's crazy, man. Chat.
I might lose, but you know.
Hey man, Moss is a great salesman, bro. I'll tell you that.
I'm telling you, man. It doesn't. I was looking at before.
He told us, bro. He told us.
It's crazy.
I'm questioning myself right now.
Come on, Kenan. Jump aboard the Olives train, baby. He's on his way back.
This guy is in shape too, bro.
Beautiful
look
body.
Bro. He's in shape, bro. Just now. Recent pictures, just now from today, right now.
Yeah.
That was today.
Without the belt. Look at him.
He's got the blonde hair. He does have the blonde hair there, right? So I don't know.
He's gonna turn Darius into his girlfriend, son.
Yeah, I think he finishes him. I do. I think he finishes Benny. Okay, chat. We got the boys in the house here. If you have anything you'd like to ask or you want to throw out there, throw it out right now because we got the Justice League assembled and ready to talk some fights. Okay. Thank you for the gifted memberships. I saw Casey Jones gifting the memberships. I appreciate you. You're a savage. You're a legend. You're on like you're like on a gifting streak, and I love it.
Let's go, champ.
Thank you. Snow Bunny got the membership. This gifting memberships, by the way, is the funniest thing that YouTube's ever done because the lurkers are exposed. Have you guys noticed this with the gifting memberships? Like you'll find some.
I've never gotten them, but yeah, that's what happens.
It's hilarious, man. It's like it's like dropping an M80 in a pond and then just the fish come out. You know, you're like, oh, you're watching the show. Okay, cool. Let's see what else we got here.
It's also people that like, let's just say like somebody like watched you once, he might get it too. You know, like it's super random.
It is. Yeah, they say if you're very active in the chat, that's nonsense. Like. Just weird.
Let's go, champ.
Different people. Thank you. There we go. It's GoFoos. You are a member now. Okay. Ask Jesse the last time he was in a fight. Okay, Jesse, when was the last time you were in a fight?
I mean, I fucking armbarred 2 guys yesterday.
There you go. Jiu-Jitsu's going well, right? I see you posting things on Instagram.
Yeah. Today, dude, I did something today that I fucking never do. I skipped jits today. I never skip jits. I literally went and laid down. I was like, all right, I need to leave. I need to leave at 5:30. I laid down at 5:05 and I woke up at 6:15. Like I was just so tired from this weekend and I was like, fuck. So today is like this random super rare day where I skip I was in look at this. I'm in a rash guard. Like
it was about to go.
I was dressed to go and then I fell asleep.
Oh man. Well, you're entitled to a day off.
He was training in his sleep, you know. He was doing like the butt scoops in his sleep. He's like, what's going on here, man? And then he wakes up and that booby's here.
Okay, here we go. Who would win an MMA content creator grappling match featuring MMA Joey, Jesse, Guru, Moss, and Lucas? Who the fuck is Lucas? And who is Joey?
Tracy.
Oh, Lucas.
MMA Joey. That's about. I mean, dude, you got to ask him like, what's their grappling background? If you grapple, you know, like you can't tell a book by its cover. It's like, how long have you been doing it? It's like if one of these guys a fucking black belt, then they'll probably do pretty well.
There you go. They want to know a real fight. The last time you were in like I guess a street fight. They're trying to say.
Oh fuck, I don't know. Not a long time. I do anything that I can to not street fight. The last time I fucking like lost my shit in a situation that was outside of, you know, a gym was 2013. Yeah, 2013. And I didn't even old enough that the last real like time that I fucking put a hand on a guy was like 2006, like where I lit a guy up and put him down.
You know, it's funny.
I fought a lot, but that's the last time when like somebody I knew that, or I'm sorry, not someone I knew. In 2007, I was in San Diego and I read this story about a guy who punched a guy. So just some surfer in San Diego punched a guy. His head hit the fucking pavement and the guy died. And the guy went to jail for 20 years. And this is when I was training kickboxing. I'd starched like 6 guys in the last 2 months. And I was like, you know, in training or sparring or in smokers. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. So if I punch a guy in real life now, he hits his, I'm not risking going to jail for 20 fucking years. I basically just like wrote off fighting right there. Also, I was out of situations where like I never like looked for a fight. I was in an environment before that where like people would press you all the time. And, you know, that just, I don't know. That shit doesn't happen anymore. Ever.
Yeah. I got pressed by I got pressed. Dude, this is nuts. This was like last October. I'm with my daughter and my wife, and we're going to a pumpkin patch, and we got into a fight over a fucking parking spot, and this kid was like just like taunting me, and it was right after we did like an 8-hour stream. I'm just fucking miserable. I just want to take these pumpkin pictures. So I almost got into a fucking fight with an 18-year-old. We're nose to nose in a parking lot.
That's a bad headline.
Hold on a second.
It's a bad headline if you win.
Aren't you the
I know.
video?
I know. He probably would have knocked me out.
It's a bad headline if you win. They're like, you know, Chris Miller, 18, hospitalized after, you know what I mean? It's a bad.
I was like, what am I doing?
Dude.
I'm like, what am I? And Jesse's like, get in the fucking car, and I'm like, no, fuck this guy. Like, you know what? You ever have that? Like, I had a falling down moment where I was just like, I don't want to fuck with anyone. This is my spot. They were laughing on their way in as they cut me off into the spot, and I'm waiting there forever, right? So I got out, and I was like, I walked up to the car, and all I was gonna say was, listen, I was waiting for this spot, and this fucking 18-year-old comes around in my face. I'm like, here we go. I'm gonna fight a kid. I'm gonna fucking fight a kid at a pumpkin patch.
It's not impossible that I might have strangled that kid. In that situation, they're laughing. They cut you off, and then you get out, knock on the window. He puts on a show for his buddies. He might have gotten fucking slammed on the ground. It's possible. If it were at a pumpkin patch, I'd have made sure I slammed him into hay to make sure I don't kill him. But, like, you know, and then it'd be like, go to his next buddy and be like, you can either have that or move the fucking car. You know?
Well, they did move, which was hilarious. But anyway, it made me feel better when I heard Chris Curtis talk about Raul Rosas Jr., and he says, I don't give a fuck. I will beat up a kid. he goes, I don't give a fuck. So, like, it made me feel a little bit better, all right? So, I mean, I'm not saying beat up a child, but 18 and up, you could fuck them up if they get in your face. That's that. I'm giving you
that. Like, even when you beat somebody like that's a lot younger, even when they deserve it, you just don't feel good about yourself.
No,
like, damn,
no.
Like,
I probably would get my
if you were to lose, you would feel worse. But, like, then you win, you feel just
I know.
less bad about it.
You don't win either way.
Like, come on now.
The moral, you never do that. You just never do that.
Dude, the king over there at fucking Extreme Couture told me that Chris Curtis is so mad at me. He's so fucking pissed. And I was like, why? And he's like, I don't know, man. You did something. And I'm like, I literally fucking hugged him after his fight at 287 on his way out. Like I'm friends with fucking Nick. I know him. And he's like, nah, man. And I'm like, bring him in, because I was doing a stream and he was at Extreme Couture, and I was like, bring him in to talk. He's like, hang on. He's like, he won't talk to you, dude.
Wow.
And I'm like, I don't know if he's fucking with me or not. I think he's fucking with me.
Okay.
Like, I think he's joking, but he won't fucking tell me. I'm like, dude, are you like, is he seriously that mad? What the fuck could I have possibly said about Chris Curtis? He's like, I don't know, man, but he fucking hates you.
Wow.
Like, I think he's joking, but I don't know, dude.
I gotta ask him. I'm curious now. He's such a fucking nice guy, but he is petty. He is like, there's no doubt about it. He's very admittedly petty.
Yeah,
he won't.
That's exactly what he said. He's like the guy that, like, someone will have said something on Twitter, he'll print it out and put it in his fucking wallet. I'm like, I've never said shit about Chris Curtis because Eric Nixick's my dude and I know he's his coach. I would have never said anything about Chris Curtis. He's like, I don't know, man. You must have said something. I'm like, fuck. I have no idea. He might be. Yeah, he's probably fucking with me, dude.
Yeah, I would guess. Yeah, have you heard? I mean, I'm sure you heard the Strickland and Curtis podcast, right? What do you guys think about that? It was fantastic.
Dude, I haven't heard it, but I'll fucking listen to it for sure.
Oh, it's great. I'm not a podcast guy. In fact, I don't listen to anything. Everyone's like, "Who's your favorite YouTuber?" I'm like, I'm not plugged in.
KenanK TV, right?
Oh, KenanK, yeah. Except for KenanK and Jesse and Fire, of course. But I don't like. I just stay away from all of it. Right? I don't want to be biased.
Me too. You talk about it enough, it's hard to like. Me too. Like, I don't listen to anyone consistently.
Yeah, and it's gonna fucking like get in my head, and then I'm gonna start thinking that way. So I don't want to be biased in any way. But Curtis's podcast, I'm like, all right, with Strickland, I got to hear this thing. I sat through the whole damn thing. I loved every second of it. It wasn't a podcast. It was just Strickland just being Sean Strickland. It was fantastic.
Yeah,
you got to listen.
Strickland, bro. He, like, if you could like summarize him as like a website, bro, he's like Rumble in real life, bro. Rumble.com, bro. He's like, damn, bro. This guy's literally Rumble IRL, bro. He's like, come on,
yeah.
Bro. All right.
Yeah, he's something else, man. I dropped the ball. I was so upset. Like the first time I had Chris Curtis on, it was during XMMA, and it was before he was in the UFC, and I was pumped up to talk to Chris, and Sean was in the background. And I was such a casual at the time. He was in the UFC, Sean, but he wasn't the Sean Strickland he is today. He was just the guy in Chris Curtis's corner. Yeah. So Chris is like, yo, you want to have him on? And I'm like, nah, man, I want to give you your time, man. So I dropped the ball so fucking bad there. I should have fucking dragged Sean Strickland on, and I always kick myself in the ass a couple years
back. Then you would have had access to him forever.
I know, and I fucking dropped the ball. So now, I don't know, I'm cursed. But I did hear
Justin James at Extreme Couture is my buddy, and I was like, dude, see if Strickland will come on my show. And he's like, all right, I'll ask him. And Strickland was like, tell him to pay me $2,000 and I'll come on. And I was like, fuck you, dude. I'm not paying you $2,000, dude.
Is the ad revenue even going to cover that, bro? Like, come on now.
Not even fucking $2,000, dude.
Like, come on now. Maybe if I
That's exactly what I said to him. I was like, how much? I'm like, if he thinks you make $2,000 on a single video, why the hell doesn't he have a YouTube video or a YouTube channel?
Well, he did say that
he would get deleted, bro. He would get canceled, bro, right away, bro.
That's true.
On his podcast that he did say, hey, if I'm not getting paid doing this, I'm not going to do this anymore. So he wants to make sure he's getting paid. No matter. He said he's a prostitute. I mean, he said that, right? So he likes the money. I don't blame him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, someone should tell him that he's going to have to do a bunch of episodes and establish viewership, so then he can go to ad people and then sell ads. That's how that works. He's probably like, he's going to do 2. He's all, where's the money? You're like, I mean, you got to do a few episodes, dude. He's all, fuck it, I'm out.
I have a clip of Bruce Buffer. I'm gonna next time Strickland fights, I'm just gonna put it out there. But it's of Bruce giving Sean advice, and he's saying how like you can't act like this if you want sponsors. He understands it's his character and this and that, but you just can't. In the long run, it's just gonna hurt you, right? If you want sponsorship. So I mean, it seems like he's doing just fine, but maybe it is. Yeah, maybe it is kind of hurting monetizing him as a person,
Yeah, I don't know. Chael did that video about it when I can't remember. Like, it was one of those like really public things where like a press conference that Sean did that was fucking awesome. I think it was the one right before he was gonna fight Alex Pereira, where he stood up and was fucking with Izzy. And I'm pretty sure that Chael did a video after that where he was saying that the UFC won't make him champion if he doesn't clean it up. Like he's like, you can't do that. Like oh man, I don't know. Like I think it was after that one. I mean, I know Chael did the video, but I think it was after that event, and I remember just being like, interesting, dude, because that's like what's been driving all the talk since that event. But maybe, I don't know. He was clowning on gay people a lot. Maybe Disney fucking hates that. I don't know. Who knows? I don't even know if ESPN or Disney has any impact on who the champion is anyway.
So you mentioned Chael a lot. So what's your connection with Chael? Like, what do you guys? You text?
Chael's my dude.
So how did this happen?
Fuck, I don't know. We started talking on Twitter, and then we moved it over to cell phone, and then now I like FaceTime. Like I'll ask him advice on shit. Like Chael's my dude.
That's cool. That's a good man. He's killing it, huh? Like his channel blew up, and here's the thing. Like he's all into it, man. Chael's got some. I tell you what, he's such an intelligent guy, right?
He's so smart. He's running for governor of Oregon.
Is he really?
True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Well, I did see he said, yes, I would run for president. Like he said, that's something that he would think about. So he's running for governor.
I heard his first time
on 100% he's running for governor.
That's a lock.
He said himself on his Steve-O podcast. I watched that.
Yeah.
That's a lock. I don't see how he doesn't win.
He said he's gonna go in heavy, dude. Like he's not putting on a fucking suit and he's gonna turn into Mike Pence, dude. He's gonna go up there and he's gonna fucking Chael it, dude.
No kidding.
At least that's what he told me, dude. I was like, I mean, he's gonna make headlines. That's for goddamn sure.
Holy smokes!
Yeah, man, he's got my vote, bro.
That's my fucking vote.
Yeah, I would vote for him too. That's amazing. Good for him, man. Yeah. That's awesome. That is fucking
Portland
awesome.
is in Oregon. Think about how they're gonna like fucking Chael. They're gonna be like, their ears are gonna bleed, dude.
Oh my god, dude, that's insane. All right, I'm gonna ask you quick predictions and then we'll wrap this thing up. So Nunes versus Aldana, who would you guys go with?
Nunes.
I mean, of course, Nunes, bro. Come on now.
But the Mexicans are on a run, dude.
True. Yeah.
But
I was thinking of like how to do like an impression on Nunes. I was thinking like.
Oh, I have one. You want to hear it? Yes. She sounds like a baby.
She's more like, I should happy for this time for his championship of the UFC. I should great. I should happy.
That's actually good.
That's actually good. Hey, why don't you do that? Except do when she said sorry, Ronda Rousey, when she was talking about Ronda Rousey, like because like you know what I'm talking about when they were like, I heard Ronda Rousey unfollowed you after she knocked her out. She's all sorry, Ronda Rousey. I thought that's the funniest shit ever.
Yeah, Ronda Rousey doesn't like me. She called me. What'd she call me? I forgot what she called me, but she does not. She wasn't a fan. I tried to get her on the show.
She knows who you are, though.
Yeah. I guess that's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to throw this out here. Chris Curtis versus Imavov. Since we were talking about Chris Curtis, I have been going back.
Chris Curtis is going to win for sure.
That's a lock, huh?
That's a fucking lock. He's never going to lose ever, dude.
He says that it's genetics. Those boulder ball shoulders of his. He said it on our show. He said it in multiple interviews after that. Like, he says it on Twitter. I'm like, what? How does he not push weights around and get those fucking... But he says it's all genetics. Do you believe that?
Dude, I have no idea. I'll tell you this, though, that specifically when I was saying that thing about being cage side and the sound of people landing punches, I was talking about Chris Curtis versus Gastelum at Miami. That fucking fight... those body shots that Chris Curtis was hitting like Gastelum with sounded like a baseball bat hitting a fucking slab of cow. Like it was so loud. That fight was bananas, dude. Was that fight awesome on TV? Gastelum versus Chris Curtis?
It was for me because I have like this bias for Chris. We had money on Chris as well. But yeah, that fight was fire, man. That was anytime Gastelum fights too, I'm always fired up too. That was a great matchup.
Yeah. I saw that. I mean, maybe this is why he was mad, but like I said, after his fight, when he was on his way out, he was so fucking disappointed. Like you could just see his like, and I meant it as a compliment, you know, like where it's like, you know, you just see I don't know, man, like he cares a lot. Like he was fucking crushed that didn't go his direction, you know, like, and I don't know. I just like guys that are kind of like, oh, it didn't go my way. It's like, I'd prefer for guys to just be like that this is their fucking life on the line in there. You know what I mean? I
didn't see the headbutt live. I didn't see it. I thought he got clipped when he stumbled down. But then when you watch it back and you saw it was a headbutt, a clash of heads there, that's a problem, man. I would be upset too if I was Chris.
Yeah. Great fucking fight though, man.
Okay. And Kenan, what do you have? Curtis or Imavov? Who would you go with?
Imavov.
Okay, so you're never gonna be talking to Chris. Okay,
we hate you now.
We're in the bridge right there.
Wonderful. We got Pulse Reloaded coming in for the boys.
Do any of you established streamers have some advice for a up-and-coming YouTuber who's planning on going live soon? I'm making my debut next Tuesday for real.
Pulse, are you showing your face or are you gonna fucking catfish us like you've done before? All right, any advice, aspiring YouTubers? What do you say? We'll start with Kenan, since Kenan is up at 4 a.m.
When it's any breaking news, go live. You got to go live for all the fights. You got to be live for a long while. Like when I started, I was doing like 7-8 hour streams, sometimes 9. I was like, all right, man, we gotta chill down. But yeah, from streaming, you get a lot of new subscribers, a lot of new eyes. So stream a lot, but make a lot of videos. Try to pump out 3 videos a day, 1 shorts. Be on every social media. Be hungry. Just keep going. Be an animal, bro. Come on now.
Yeah, and I would just say commit to the process. Like, make your goals should not be about viewership or about subscribers. It should be about shit that you can control. So you go in and you're like, I'm going to commit to this process for 2 fucking years, and I'm going to make at least 1 video every day, 7 days a week at absolute bare minimum, and then you do it and you never make fucking excuses, and then you see where you're at the end of your, I'm not talking, oh, see what happens after 2 months, 2 years, and then see what happens.
Absolutely. Yeah, people expect they're going to do it for a couple of weeks and all of a sudden they're going to explode. That's not.
I started in 2015 and I only started to get views in 2018, so 3 years for me. And then 13 months I was demonetized. So I mean, it is a struggle.
Yeah, absolutely.
It took me a year, and I had a cheat code. It took me I had 100 and something thousand followers on TikTok that I was driving over to YouTube, and it still took a year of posting every single fucking day, and then it started.
How many followers did you transfer?
It's hard to say because what I was doing, I would start telling a story on TikTok, and I would tell like a 3-part story, and then at the end of the third, I'd be like, "Oh, you want to finish it? You got to go over to my YouTube." And then
you're one of those people, Jesse. Come on now.
Smart.
Dude, if you have to do shit like that. Like, you know, and but I gained 1,800 subscribers in my first month or something like 1,800 in my first month or something like that. And there was some kid who was helping me. I thought that was shitty compared to like what I was doing on TikTok because I didn't know any better, you know. And the kid that was helping me, he's like, dude, this says you got 1,800 subscribers this month. I'm like, why? Is that good? He's like, yeah, dude, that's really good. And then now that I've seen it with other people starting at 0, that first 1,000 is fucking hard, dude. Yeah. It's really hard. The very first 1,000 is really fucking hard. You got like a few milestones. Like the first 1,000 is really hard because they're not going to help you if you can't establish that you can get 1,000 on your own pretty much. And then getting to 10,000 is a grind. And then from 10,000 is where they'll start taking you seriously. At least that's how the algorithm used to work, you know, before. It's how it worked for me. Mm-hmm. Like I had always heard like they want to see you post consistently for a year. They want to see you get to 10,000 and then they'll start really promoting it. And that's literally exactly what happened for me. I hit it 1 year and 10,000 at the same time. And then that's when I really kind of caught some momentum.
I look at it this way. Like Aljamain Sterling, for instance, was trying to get that YouTube channel up for years. When we started our channel, like he was trying to get that thing up. This dude was in the UFC, then became UFC champion, and still is having struggle. Just now, his channel is starting to grow really fast. Right? Just now. Yeah. It took that long.
Is it? Let's see. How's it doing now? Yeah. Dude, that guy has been fucking grinding
for years. For years he's been doing this. He's been talking about his YouTube. I have on our channel. We had him on like 4 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago.
Wow, he's up to 61,000 now.
Yeah, he was struggling.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, he was struggling, and just now you can tell his videos are starting to get more views and stuff like that. So that goes to show you, like this guy's a UFC champion, and now finally it's starting to get going. So it's not like you just show up and it just the numbers just appear.
And yeah, I mean, like he has an upcoming fight with O'Malley. Like, you know, okay, so this is smart, dude. Like he's got one exposing Sean. Aljamain Sterling fires at Sean O'Malley lies, and it does 21,000 views. Yeah, like that's a fucking smart title, dude. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, he's got a guy now editing his videos, and he's always dragging him around, and it seems like this guy's a smart dude that he's with. So yeah, good for Aljo. We got something else coming in here from Chubbs.
Wonderful.
Let's see.
Oregon is pretty liberal. Jesse on fire. Tell everybody you suck his dick off and he'll definitely get elected and everybody will believe it.
Huh?
So
I don't understand that voice.
That's the beautiful Vishwana.
Of course you don't, Jesse.
So you're not saying you do or you don't suck Chell's dick?
I've never met Chell in person, so that'd be really challenging.
Actually, yeah, I got a chance to meet him. He called me the MMA-Holes. I wonder if he remembers that. Probably not. But anyway, but I did get to interview him briefly. Okay, chat. Thank you guys for the donations. Appreciate that. I want to thank our guests for coming on the show once again. It's always fun catching up with you guys. What's going on? What's anything new before I let you guys go? What can we look forward to in Kenan and Jesse on Fire's universe?
I hope we can look forward to the next episode featuring Grandmaster and the Keon Kimura, because we got to see those two go at it, man.
Who's
gonna win the self-pity party, bro? Come on now.
Dude, hopefully there's like a fucking story in MMA at some point that I can do a good video on, for God's sakes.
It's pretty dry right now.
Isn't it crazy, right? It's been such a lull, and then this is what we get to come back to, the Canadian Amanda Nunes card. I'm like, help me here, guys. Like, what are we doing? But it is what it is. It's part of the deal, right?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, boys.
All right, guys.
Good chat with you guys.
Later, guys.
There they are. There's Jesse on Fire. Jeez. There's KenanK coming on the show. It's always a pleasure hanging with the boys on the MMA-Holes live stream. Let's go, champs. Let's go. Oh, I thank you guys for stopping by once again on the MMA-Holes live show. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you hit the like button, share the stream, all that fun stuff. I keep on getting messages. I didn't get the alert. YouTube is just doing that. It is what it is. So make sure you hit the like button, comment down below. It's like pulling teeth to get comments. I didn't see a lot of comments in the chat because we were chatting. So if I missed something important, let me know in the comments down below. I appreciate you guys stopping back each and every week. Thank you guys for the donations, the likes, all that fun stuff. We'll see you on Friday on the main channel. I know PFL is tomorrow. I was thinking about doing PFL, but if anything, I might just do a gaming stream tomorrow on the second channel. So thank you guys for stopping by, and we're out of here. Don't be an a-hole. Be an MMA-hole. Thank you to Kenan and Jesse for stopping by.